My name is Kanakorn Watcharasukpo. I affirm that I have recorded audiobooks with my own voice, and that this work is my own. I accept responsibility for my role in ensuring the integrity of work submitted by the group in which I participated.
I am Mullika Pratumsit. I affirm that I have recorded the audiobooks with my own voice and that this work is my own. I accept responsibility for my role in ensuring the integrity of the work submitted by the group in which I participated.
I affirm that I have recorded the audio book with my own voice and that this work is my own. I accept responsibility for my role in ensuring the integrity of the work submitted by the group in which I participated.
The girl was one of those pretty and charming young creatures who sometimes are born as if by a slip of fate into a family of clerks. She had no dowry, no expectations, no way of being known, understood, loved, married by any rich and distinguished man. So she let herself to be married to a written clerk of Ministry of Public Instruction. She dressed palely because she could not dress well, but she was unhappy, as if she had lately fallen from a higher station. Seen with women there is neither caste nor rank, for beauty, grace, and charm take a place of family and birth. Natural ingenuity, instinct for what is elegant, a supple mind are their sole hierarchy, and often make of women of the people the equals of the very greatest ladies. Matthew suffered ceaselessly, feeling herself born to enjoy all delicacies and all luxuries. She was distressed at the poverty of her dwelling, at the badness of the walls, at the shabby chairs, and the ugliness of the curtains. All those things, of which another woman of her rank would never even have been conscious, tortured her and made her angry. The sight of the little Breton peasant who did her humble housework aroused in her despairing regrets and bewildering dreams. She thought of silent antechambers hung with oriental tapestry, illumined by tall bronze candelabra, all of two great footmen in knee breeches who sleep in the big armchairs, made drowsy by the oppressive heat of the stove. She thought of long reception halls hung with ancient silk, of the dainty cabinet containing priceless curiosity, and of the little coquettish perfumed reception rooms made for chatting at 5 o'clock with intimate friends, with men famous and sought after, whom all women envy and whose attention they all desire. When she sat down to dinner, before the low table covered with a tablecloth in use 3 days, opposite her husband, who uncovered the soup tureen and declared with a delighted air, "Ah, the good soup! I don't know anything better than that." She thought of dainty dinners, of shining silverware, of tapestry that peopled the walls with ancient persons, and with giant birds flying in the midst of fairy forest. And she thought of delicious dishes served on marvelous plates, and of the whispered gallantries to which you listen with a spring-like smile while you are eating the pig meat of a tart or the wings of a quail. She had no grouse, no juice, nothing, and she loved nothing but that. She felt made for that. She would have liked so much to please, to be envied, to be charming, to be sought after. She had a friend, a former schoolmate at the convent, who was rich, and whom she did not like to go to see any more, because she felt so sad when she came home. But one evening her husband reached home with a timpan air and holding a large envelope in his hand. "There," said he, "there is something for you." She tore the paper quickly and drew out a printed card which bore these words: "The Minister of Public Instruction and Madame Chouard Lampeneur request the honour of Monsieur and Madame Louisel's company at the Palace of the Ministry on Monday evening, January 18th. Instead of being delighted, as her husband had hoped, she threw the invitation on the table coldly, muttering, "What do you wish me to do with that? Why, my dear, I thought you would be glad. You never go out, and this is such a fine opportunity. I had great trouble to get it. Everyone wants to go. It is very select, and there are no giving many invitations to clerks. The all official world will be there." She looked at him with an irritated glance, and said impatiently, "And what do you wish me to put on my back?" He had not thought of that. He stammered, "Why, the gown you go to the theatre in. It looked very well to me." He stopped, distracted, seeing that his wife was weeping. Two great tears ran slowly from the corners of her eyes toward the corners of her mouth. "What's the matter? What's the matter?" he asked. By a violent effort, she conquered her grief and replied in a calm voice, while she wiped her wet cheeks, "Nothing, only I have no gown, and therefore I can't go to this ball. Give your card to some colleague whose wife is better equipped than I am." He was in despair. He resumed, "Come, let us see, Mathilde. How much would it cost? A suitable gown, which you could use on other occasions. Something is very simple." She reflected several seconds, making her calculation and wondering also what sum she could ask without drawing on herself an immediate refusal and a frightened exclamation from the economical clerk. Finally, she replied, hesitating, "I don't know exactly, but I think I could manage it with 400 francs." He grew a little pale, because he was laying aside just that amount to buy a gun and treat himself to a little shooting next summer on the plain of Montira, with several friends who went to shoot larks there of a Sunday. But he said, "Very well, I will give you 400 francs, and try to have a pretty gown." The day of the ball drew near, and Madame Louisel seemed sad, uneasy, anxious. Her frock was ready, however. Her husband said to her one evening, "What is the matter? Come, you have seemed very queer these last 3 days." And she answered, "It annoys me to have a single piece of jewelry, not a single ornament, nothing to put on. I shall look poverty-stricken. I would almost rather not go at all." "You might wear natural flowers," said her husband. "They are very stylish at this time of year." For 10 francs you can get 2 or 3 magnificent roses. She was not convinced. No, there's nothing more humiliating than to look poor among other women who are rich. How stupid you are! Her husband cried. Go look up your friend, Madame Forestier, and ask her to lend you some jewels. You're intimate enough with her to do that. She uttered a cry of joy. True! I never thought of it. The next day, she went to her friend and told her of her distress.
Madame Forestier went to a window with a miller, took out a large jewel box, brought it back, opened it, and said to Madame Louise, Choose, my dear. She saw first some necklace, then a pearl necklace, then a miniature gold corset, with patient stole, of admirable makeshift. She tried on the ornaments before the miller hesitated, and could not make up her mind to part with them, to give them back. She kept asking, Haven't you any more? Why, yes, look further. I don't know what you like. Suddenly, she discovered in a black satin box a super diamond necklace, and her heart dropped with an immoderate desire. Her hand trembled as she took it. She fastened its loud of dirt outside her high necklace, and was so ecstasy of her reflection in the mirror. Then she asked, hesitating, filled with anxious doubt, Will you let me this only this? Why, yes, certainly. She threw her arm round her friend's neck, kissed her passionately, then filled with her teacher. The night of the ball alive, Madame Louise was a great success. She was prettier than any other woman present. Elegant, graceful, smiling, and wild with joy. All the men looked at her, asked her name, sought to be introduced. All the attached of the cabinet wished to walk with her. She was remarked by the minister himself. She danced with rapture, with passion, intoxicated by pleasure, forgetting all in the triumph of her beauty, in the glory of her success, in a sort of cult of happiness comprised of all this. Amaze, admiration, this awake desert, and of themselves of triumph, which is so sweet to woman's heart. She left the ball at 4 o'clock in the morning. Her husband has been sleeping since midnight, in a little deserted anteroom with the other gentlemen whose wives were enjoying the ball. He threw over her shoulders the wrap her had bought, the modest wrap of common life, the poverty of which contrasted with the elegance of the borders. She felt this and wished to escape so as not to be remarked by the other women, who were enveloping themselves in costly fur. We saw her back saying, Wait a bit, you will catch cold outside. I will call a cab. But she did not listen to him, and rapidly descended the stairs. When they reached the street, they could not find a carrier and began to look for one, shouting after the carman pressing at a distance. They went toward the side in despair, shivering with cold. At last they found on the quay one of these excellent nightcap suites, as though they were ashamed to show their shabbiness during the day, and never see round price until after dark. It took them to their dwelling in the Rue des Martyrs, and sadly they mounted the stairs to their fate. All was ended for her. As to him, he reflected that he must be at the ministry at 10 o'clock that morning. She removed her lap before the guards so as to see herself one more in all her glory. But suddenly she entered a car. She no longer had the necklace around her neck. What is the matter with you? demanded her husband, already half undazed. She turned distractedly toward him. I, I have, I have lost Madame Frise's necklace, she cried. He stood up, bewildered. What? How? Impossible! They looked among the folds of her skirt, of her coat, in her pockets, everywhere, but did not find it. You sure you had it on when you left the ball? He asked. Yes, I felt it the vestibule of the minister house. But if you had lost in the street, we should have heard in fall. It might be in the cab. Yes, probably. Did you take his number? No. And you not take it? No. They looked thunderstruck at each other and let Louisa put on his coat. I shall go back on foot, said he, over the old road, to see whether I can find it. He went out. She sat waiting on a chair in her bodice, without staying to go to bed, overwhelmed, without any fire, without any thought. Her husband returned about 7 o'clock. He had found nothing. He went to police headquarters, to the newspaper offices, to offer a reward. He went to the cabs company. He went everywhere. In fact, with her he was urged by the red spark of hope. She waited all day, in the same condition of mad fear, before this terrible calamity. Louisa returned at night with a horror, pale face. He had discovered nothing. You must write to your friend, said he, that you have broken the clasp of her necklace, and that you are having it mended. That will give us time to turn round. She wrote at his dictation. At the end of a week, they had lost all hope.
Lucille, who has a 5-year declared, we must consider how to replace that ornament. The next day they took the box that has contained it, and went to the jeweler whose name was found within. He consulted his books. It was not I, madame, who sold that necklace. I must simply have furnished the case. Then they went from jeweler to jeweler, searching for a necklace like the other, trying to recall it, both sick with chagrin and grief. They found in a shop at the Palais Royal a stick of diamonds that seemed to them exactly like the one they had lost. Its worth were 40,000 francs. They could have it for 36. So, they begged the jeweler not to sell it for 3 days yet. And they made a bargain that he should buy the bag for 34,000 francs, in case they should find the lost necklace before the end of February. Lucille purchased 18,000 francs, which his father had left him. He would borrow the rest. He did borrow, asking 1,000 francs of one, 500 of another, 5 louis here, 3 louis there. He gave notes, took up numerous obligations, dealt with users and all the rest of lenders. He compromised all the rest of his life, risked signing a note without even knowing whether he could meet it, and, fined by the trouble yet to come, by the bad misery that was about to fall upon him, by the prospect of all physical privation and moral torture that he was to suffer, he went to get the new necklace, lying upon the jeweler's counter 36,000 francs. When Madame Lucille took back the necklace, Madame Forrester said to her with a chilling manner, "You should have returned it sooner. I might have needed it." She did not open the case as her friend had so much fear. If she had detected the substitution, What would she have thought? What would she have said? Would she not have taken Madame Louise for a thief? Thereafter, Madame Louise knew the horrible existence of the needy. She bore her part, however, with subtle heroism. The deadful bet must be paid. She would pay it. They dismissed their servants. They changed their lodgings. They rented a glass under the loft. She came to know what heavy housework meant, and the audience care of the kitchen. She washed the dishes, using her native fingers and rosy nails on greasy pots and pans. She washed the soiled linen, the shirts and the discourse, which she dyed upon a line. She carried the soap down the stairs every morning, and carried up the water, stopping for beads at every landing. And dressed like a woman of the people, she went to the fuller, the grocer, the butcher, a bucket on her arm, bargaining, meeting the impertinent, defending her miserable money soul by soul. Every month they had to miss some notes, renewed orders, often more time. Her husband worked evening making up a trace account, and late at night he often copied manuscripts for 5 of a page. This life lasts 10 years. At the end of 10 years, they had paid everything, with the rate of usury and the accumulation of the compound interest. Madame Roussel looked old now. She had become the woman of impoverished household, strong and hard of loaf. With fuzzy hair, skirts unnew a lace hands, she took slow while watching the fall with great switches of water. But sometimes when her husband was at the office, she sat down near the window, and she thought of that gay evening of long ago, of that ball where she had been so beautiful, and she admired. What would have happened if she had not lost that necklace? Who knows? Who knows? How strange and shameful is life! How small a thing is needed to make all us. But one Sunday, having gone to take a walk in the Champs-Élysées to refresh herself after the labor of the week, she suddenly perceived a woman who was already a child. It was Madame Forrester, still young, still beautiful, still charming. Madame herself felt moved. Should she speak to her? Yes, certainly. And now that she had paid, she would tell her all about it. Why not? She went up. Good day, Jean. The other, astonished to be familiarly addressed by this pale good wife, did not recognize her at all and stammered. But, Madame, I do not know. You must have mistaken. No, I am Matilda Rizzo. Her friend was a kind. Oh, my poor Matilda, how you are ashamed. Yes, I have had a pretty hard life. Since I last saw you, I great poverty, and then because of you. Of me? How so? Do you remember that diamond necklace you let me to wear at the ministerial ball? Yes, I will. Well, I lost it. What do you mean? You brought it back? I bought you back another accessory like it, and it had taken us 10 years to pay for it. You can understand that it was not easy for us who has nothing. At least it is in. I am very glad. Madame Forrester has stopped. You said that you bought a necklace of diamonds to repeat mine? Yes, you never know it then. They was very similar. And she smiled with a joy that was at one pound and ingenious. Madame Forrester, deeply moved, took her hands. Oh, my poor Matilda! Why, my necklace was painted. It was worth as much only 500 francs.